Hello and welcome to Math World. Today we're going to work on multiplying and dividing fractions. Now, like I said in class, multiplying and dividing is way easier than adding and subtracting when it comes to negatives and fractions. So here we go. If you have a fraction like 3/4 and we want to multiply it by another fraction, let's say 5/6, all we do is multiply the top numbers and then multiply the bottom numbers. So what is 3 times 5? 3 times 5 is 15. And then the denominators. 4 times 6 is 24. Boom, done. It's that simple. We can simplify, of course. Does this simplify? I believe 3 goes into 15 5 times, and it goes into 24 8 times. So we could simplify this to 5/8. But the process of multiplying is that simple. Multiply the top numbers, multiply the bottom numbers. Now, how does this change when we get negative fractions? Sounds scary, right? Multiplying negative fractions? Well, we're going to use the same rules that we did with our positive and negative integers. We're going to look at the signs. So, when you have a negative on a fraction, though, it's important to know that we only want to put the negative on one of the numbers. I usually put it on the top number. So we're not going to say -3 and -4. It's just -3. So -3/4 only gets one negative applied. That's important. Because when we get our answer, we're going to have -3 times 5. Well, like with our integer multiplication, we know that the multiplication works the same, and we just look at the sign. There is one negative sign, so our answer is negative. Now the bottom, 4 times 6, again 24, and there's no negative down here because we already used up the negative on the 3. So 4 times 6 is 24, and we are done again. And if we want to simplify this, we can simplify it to -5/8, just like before. It's that simple. That's how easy multiplying is. Again, multiply the top, multiply the bottom. And don't forget, if we had two negatives multiplied by each other, that the answer is actually positive, right? So -3 times -5 is a positive 15. Positive 4 times 6 is 24. And so two negatives make a positive when multiplying. All right, now does this get a lot harder with dividing? Not really. When we divide fractions, let's say 3/4 divided by 5/6, all you have to do is change it to a multiplication problem by doing keep, change, flip. It's kind of like our keep, change from addition to subtraction, but instead it's going to be keep the 3/4, change division to multiplication, and now flip the last number. So I'll flip it to, instead of 5/6, 6/5. You see that? I flipped the second fraction. That's it. Keep, change, flip. And now it's a multiplication problem. So what's 3 times 6? 18. And what's 4 times 5? 20. And that simplifies. Let's see, I can simplify that to 9/10 if I want to. Does this work with negatives? It sure does. -3/4 divided by 5/6. Let's do it again. Keep the first number, change the sign from division to multiplication, and lastly, flip the second number. So we'll flip it and it'll be 6/5. Then we just do the multiplication like normal. -3 times 6 should be -18. 4 times 5 is 20. And we can simplify this one as well. So multiplication and division of negative fractions, actually pretty simple. Well, that's it, and I'll see you in class. Now for a word from Papercut Games. This week's game, Byword. This game is kind of like Scrabble, except for when you pick out your letters from this little bag, each of the letters is going to have a price on it. Like the vowels are pretty cheap, but C is worth 2. So you actually have to pay for the letters, which is a little bit extra of a thought. So you're going to buy the words or buy the letters if you want them, and then once you make a word, you actually sell the letters for how much they're worth. So the more expensive letters will get you more money back. So it's kind of a cool twist on Scrabble. You get to buy the letters and then sell them. And so if you like word games, check out Bywords. This is Mr. Bigsby, and I approve of this message.